Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fit and fine, and I also hope that you are revising your subjects. Every time we are meeting on this virtual lecture, and every time we are learning something extra. Now in this meeting and learning, the basic thing which we need to understand is that responsibility. So whenever we are feeling that we need to do any kind of work, we need to complete our task, we need to revise our lessons, or we need to maintain the social distancing, the only basic thing is that which is making us to do that work or do that duties are only related with the responsibilities. So today I will talk about the responsibilities. See my dear students, my responsibility is to teach you, as well your responsibility is to revise that subject, understand while you are observing my lecture, you are seeing my lecture, virtually you are seeing my lecture, and also you need to take out some questions, as I am daily every time with every lecture telling you, take out some kinds of questions which can be helping you, because some questions which is asked in the textbook or which is not known by you in the answer form can be only helping you in the exam, but if you are revising that, and if you are not revising, it can be making you very troubled in the exam. So what you need to do, you need to focus your responsibility. Now in the previous lecture of chapter number 2, the Russian Revolution, especially I am speaking about the Russian Revolution and the World War. See, basically the First World War and the Russian Revolution is having a very great contribution, not only the contribution but connection between each of them. And if I talk about these kinds of theories, one thing is pretty sure, that in these kinds of times of revolution and in this kinds of systematic development, the people or the leaders who were in lug in this kinds of revolution or these kinds of reforms and all must have been focusing only on the victory or the social change. So if I take about the recalling last previous lecture, means if I just revise your last previous lecture, which was depending on the First World War, like I said here, 28 nations were supported, 24 nations were supporting the allied nation, rest of them went to the Axis nation. And also if I go more further, so Russia withdrew the war from Germany, okay, and then in the Germany had a war with Americans, in which the submarine was submerged, or it was somehow attacked by the German army, in which 147 American people died. So these all are the general concept which I am talking about, and these all things which we studied in the previous lecture should be revised by you. Also in the previous lecture we went on the social change and also destruction. Now in the destruction of the men and women, we can say men and women, man and material, man and any kind of thing, was somehow related with the country, finance, and also it was related with the development of the country. So if I go more further, it is also very necessary to understand, my dear students, that all the factors are actually leading you to understand what was the First World War and how is today's world different from that kind of world war, how is the today's democratic value of the custom is different from that kind of democratic customs and values. So we need to understand what was the social change in the previous lecture. See my dear student, social change which we studied, I am just making a revision, okay, of the last chapter. Social chapter was related with social service, or we can say social change was related with the development of internal villages or development of the societies, because in the time of war, we can say at the time of war, most of the men were in the war front, as well the women were at the house, they were doing the household work. But if the men are dying, what will be the responsibility? The responsibility will be coming upon the women, so they came in front to save their house, kids, and many more things here. But in this whole scenario, the situation of the kids were pathetic, like it was troublesome. So it was very troubled, and that's how we can say that this is also another thing which I'm going to take today forward about the war, warship, and group of the war also, or we can say the systematic development which started in the ancient time related to the war and ended today related with the science and technology. Also we studied about Treaty of Versailles and many more things. related to the war fine also, which was paid somehow about $6.5 billion, or we can say in the pounds. So we need to understand, my dear students, this all the category of the theory is related responsibilities and responsibilities which are not led properly in the time of the war, at the time of war here. Today's chapter is all depending upon the long-term effect, the Russian Revolution, the Bolshevik Revolution, then efforts for the world peace and the League of Nations. So students, we need to understand that today we will start the first topic related to the long-term effect. Now, what is long-term effect? Let's talk about that. Whenever there is a war, obviously there is a long-term effect, because we can say that it is signifying that which kind of treaty was signed out. It is signifying that a feeling related to the Treaty of Versailles is related to any kind of struggle which is also going to create into the feelings are going to create into the revenge, or into the we can say that again a war. So in this group of conditions, we can say the treaty with the nations, nations like, you can say like the effect of war created in Russia, or the effect of in the Germany. So the treaties like Germany, the treaties of the nations like France and many more other nations, we can say that made them to feel insecure, and also made them to feel that revenge should be taken there. So if you go more further, this all was taken out, or it all was the long-term effect of the war. Now peace could not be established with the treaty. If I talk about peace could not be established, if you talk about that peace, it could not be going to peace could not be established about the treaties. Why? Because we can say that here, if America is not joining League of Nations, if Germany is boycotted from the League of Nations, if France is boycotted from the League of Nations, obviously again there will be no any peace. So if I talk about the book Socialist Russia, let's talk about the Socialist Russia. Socialist Russia was not given place in the form of, we can say that Socialist Russia was not given place in the form of the member, and so here we can say second League of Nations was not taken part by the Russia, and therefore we can say America did not join the League of Nations, as I said in my last example, and the slowly Russian Revolution was on the verge, it was going to start out. So when the Russian Revolution was about to start out, we need to understand why it was not able to take the participation in the League of Nations, because some of the rivals were there who were not needing Russia to come inside, to come and join the League of Nations. So somehow we can say that is also why it can be said that reasons for the Second World War was Paris peace process, or we can say peace process only related with the First World War. Now see student, if we talk about the Russian Revolution, means the Bolshevik Revolution, what was that? Let's take it out here. So you need to understand this revolution took place in Russia, okay, and apart from that we can say that the Russian Revolution started in 1917. You can see the date behind me, I have given you the date. 1917 was the startup date of the Russian Revolution. It imparted, it was an event which is also today known in the history, because that kind of revolution has been not conducted yet. So if you go more further, these kinds of things can be only done at the time of war, because today we don't need these kinds of revolutions and all. So let's talk about the Caesars, okay, you can also call like Caesars. So the Russian had been oppressed by the Caesars, that is T-S-A-R, okay, T silent, that is Tsar. Now the Russian Caesars who inherited means who were living actually in the Russia, we can say, or inherited the position, they became like dictators. Now dictator means what, my dear students? Dictator means the people who rule the whole country, or the people who rule whole system on their will, and whatever they are going to do will be done by their wish. So we can say that it was also somehow done, and the people who did not obey, or the people who were not obeying the Caesars, obviously they have to be sent out from the main zone of the town to the Siberia, where we can say that in the Siberia it was a bone chilling cold, and they were set out there. So they were sending them for the punishment also. So in this meanwhile we can say that cruelty was on the last step of the Caesars, and therefore they also made to understand people that who are not fearing from the Caesars should be generally taken back or taken from their own motherland to the Siberia's chilly cold wind and the icebergs also, which will make them die slowly, gradually. So that was like a torture punishment. So my dear students, this effect of the long term is also related to the Bolshevik revolution, as I am teaching you. And if you go more further, okay, if anyone demanded for the right, he was also tortured very badly. So now what happened? After this uncontrolled power by the Kaiserdom, if I talk about, it became a reason for the grief and poverty of the nation also. And when it became grief and poverty for the nation, we need to understand people internally were trying to oppress, or trying to we can say that they were trying to somehow protest their own dictatorship government. So literally what happened, they were working very hard, but the income was somehow not coming. Who were working hard? The Russian people, the farmers, the artisans, or the mine people and all. So somehow we can say that laborers and peasants are not getting enough income. Despite working hard, they became very, very poor. So Russian poor people become very poor, and they were having nothing to do here. And if you understand their condition, you can also understand that if you are working hard and you're not getting that much of pay, or if you are getting poor, you are becoming poor, obviously after some time of gap, you are gonna change your mentality, or you are gonna break out your silence also. Same thing happened here. So under the, we can say, leadership, now you need to remember this name, my dear student, under the leadership of Father Gapon, now a large rally was somehow created. Now why the large rally was created and it was carried out? There was a reason. Large rally was carried out to the Caesar's residence, dominating by the own people, and we can say that it was ruled by their own people. And they also somehow, we can say that they also somehow made him to feel anxious, or made him to feel the Kaiserdom falling down. And they said, long live the little king of the white land, or we can say it was written on their board, or we can say on the on the posters and many more things they took along with them. And they just made the slogan without any kind of weapon. They were having no any weapons. They all were farmers, they were all were artisans group, the people who came from the mining and all. So they were like that. So they were keeping the billboards, like big billboards in their hand, and then they were somehow shouting that was like, long live Russia's little kingdom, or the little king here. They were shouting like, long live little white lord of Russia, and they were teasing like that to them. So when it happened, see, it was actually in the winter season, and the date was 22nd of the January 1905. We need to remember this date, 22nd of Jan, that is 1905. Must remember this date, my dear. So 22nd of the Jan 1905 was the date, and it was actually the Sunday. So when they went there, the Russian leaders, or we can say that, okay, like a Russian leader, Russian main head commander in general, he gave the permission. He became very vigorous. He became very and we can say that like he was angry at that time. So he gave permissions to his soldiers to shoot out the Russian people. So we can say thousands of the Russians were killed out in that, and whole of the ice was turning into the red color. Now whole of the ice turned into the red color. It was also known as the Bloody Sunday. It was Sunday, and everywhere the ice was there near the home of the Caesars, and now the ice is turning color change into the red color. So the Sunday became bloody. So that's why it is also known as, we can say that, the Bloody Sunday. In the history, it has created a name about the Bloody Sunday. So around this, we can say large number of the people died. See, my dear students, if you are killing any innocent person, obviously there will be some more battle related to you, because you are killing an innocent person. And so here we can say, obviously when a small nations like somehow Japan has defeated massive nation like Russia, and somehow we can say that like in the history around it has also shown that how Russia was weak and all. So somehow we can say that a massive change took place in Russia, and somehow we can say Russian and Japan war, which was somehow happened in, or which was taken place in 1904 to 05, somehow in order to pacify the angry Russians was also done here. Means one side we can say that it was a scenario of war, one side we can say that it was a Bloody Sunday when they killed the people, and also it was like a war internally, it was like a war started between two groups here. So eventually we can say an announcement was called. Now what was that announcement? Announcement was called to call the Duma legislative. Now, what was that? We can say Duma Legislative Assembly is somehow like an army group, okay? So, which had not been actually called for years. So, when we are calling anyone for the backup, actually we need to understand that, okay, the system and the scenario could be very dangerous. Then only we are calling anyone to the backup here. So, now when it has been not called, now it was called. Eventually, for such Duma were also somehow called the dangerous people, and we can say that, okay, but before they were called, somehow we can say the steps to satisfying Russian, it has been started, and now they made the Duma legislative to call off, means they were not called now. So we can say that, okay, this was general theory about the Russian Revolution. Now if we talk about the 8th March, what was at the 8th March? See, 8th March 1970, same date 1917, same year, not the date but the year. 8th March 1917, my dear students, there was a, we can say there was somehow operation was done, okay, like 8th March 1917, oppressed worker, it was a big operation, means oppressed worker at the Petrograd, you should remember this date, my dear, oppressed worker at the Petrograd also gave the strikes, means they also came out and they said that we are not gonna work, we will not going to work. So here eventually we can say the Caesar sent his army to shoot these kinds of people, but the army's people refused to shoot these kinds of people. Why? Because earlierly they did a mistake when they killed at the day of Sunday thousands of people who were not having any kind of gun machinery or any ammunition material with them, so they refused to hit these kinds of people. And laterly what happened, my dear students? Laterly it was decided that they will be not killed out. So it was also one of the, we can say, it was also the army refusing was also one of the challenge to the Russian people, to the Russian Caesar, we can say that, dictatorship. And therefore we need to understand it was like a fall of Caesardom. Slowly people led, according to Karl Marx, if we talk about, okay, according to the Karl Marx, it is said that, okay, when Menshevik group were working, Bolshevik were also working for the freedom. So it is said that the power fell into the hands of Kersenai led Menshevik group when there was a meeting, or when there was a we can say that like it was an election, somehow one party won the election or by the demand. So if you talk about the army refused to shoot the people, as a result the revolution began, and after the fall of Caesardom the power fell into the hand of Kersenai. Now Kersenai means the Menshevik group person, okay. So in the Kersenai led with the minority people. Now what is the minority people, my dear student? Minority means whose number of amount is low in the country, so that is the minority people. So minority people, Menshevik leading was now in the front race, or we can say in the front pioneer group. And apart from that, if you go more further, somehow but Lenin believed in importance, the other group believed in the importance of labors as the propagation related with the Karl Marx. As per the Karl Marx says that other group out of the Menshevik, Lenin group were thinking that we should support the labors, more lower quality of the people, not the minority people. So this was having a different thought of belief here. And if you talk about the middle class people also, they were somehow focused in this battle. As a result, my dear students, see, as a result what happened, as a result the Lenin instigated the Bolshevik revolution. Lenin people started the Bolshevik revolution. Now Menshevik and Bolshevik started here, and laterly which is also somehow known as the Socialist Bolshevik Revolution 1917 in the November it was started. Thus we can say that the Caesardom went away. Now it was Menshevik and Bolshevik, and the 300-year-old Caesardom now came to an end, and now Russia was not without the Caesars. Now why Russia was not without the Caesars? See, as I have said you, when Caesars allowed armies to shoot the people, actually they refused to shoot the people. So now armies are also against that. So if everybody is fighting with that, or all of them are fighting together, obviously Caesar has to run, they have to run from there. And if they are not running from there, they would be killed out, or they will be killed out. So we can say it was a general theory about the Russian Revolution. Now what was about the efforts of the world peace? See, if we talk about the world peace, we need to understand that brotherhoodship and the feeling towards everybody is also known as the world peace. We need to feel like a secured person with everybody. So if you talk about कि the horror of the world war was not end, वो तो खत्म नहीं हुआ था, it was not end, but the try for the world peace was started here. So it was explained that absolutely necessity of the world war somehow was not related, but absolutely necessity was to see the peace in every nation. Therefore, we can say a need for the international organization was needing here. A need for the parental government was needing there, so that they can handle all the conditions, they can handle all the countries together, and they could start the world peace. So it became very, very necessary to think about this kinds of world peace. And if you go more further, okay, the American president Woodrow Wilson, remember this date here, the American president Woodrow Wilson had contributed substantially in the establishment of League of Nations too here. As well, in the points, if you talk about the 14 points, it was also described by him, suggested by Woodrow Wilson, that on which parameter based categories all the systematic theories are gonna ruled out. So he also give the 14 points presentation, and this was generally we can say held at the time when he was actually ruling as a, we can say, president of America. So if you go more further, okay, in the 14 point it also suggested that how, when, where any country should be adjusted in the League of Nations, boycotted from the League of Nations, given the basic amenities also and essential commodities too here, and how we will get help by that. So this all the things was done in that, and laterly we can say that Woodrow Wilson also presented it, he was also present at the Paris peace process. So he also understood what were the fault things about the Paris peace process, and also what was the theories related to the Paris peace process, which held at the January 10, 1920. So the date wise I am making you to understand, my dear student. So now January 1920 we can say that League of Nations was established 10th January. Now what were the aims of the League of Nations? See, if you talk about the League of Nations, we need to also focus on the basic 6 aims of the League of Nations. The first aim could be to maintain the peace, security and international brotherhoodship. The second could be related that every nation has to respect unity, integrity, diversity and many more things of all the nations. Okay, and the third thing was generally related with the basic theory of, that was about the world peace also, means the world peace into the third theory to give up the world policy about the war. Now they are not gonna create, or they are not gonna do any kind of war. Why? Because they have signed the League of Nations. So any country signing the League of Nations has to take the permission before nuclear testing, before war, or before any capturing about the territories of the other nation. So the fourth was to develop the international relationship, that is very compulsory. The fifth one related to solve the internal dispute related to two countries. If the two countries are having their internal dispute, they need to sort out together. And after that we can say it can be, if they are not sorting out, they can be also somehow doing some negotiations. Okay, and the sixth one was that if any nation ignores the League of Nations, if any nation in the world peace is not supporting, and they did not join any kind of managing treaty related to the League of Nations, World Peace Treaty, Brotherhoodship, then they can be declared as the rebel nation, the nation which is the fighter nation, and nobody is going to help that nation, and that nation shall be also boycotted from the League of Nations. So that is all the basic 6 points about the League of Nations. And we can say that keeping a control over imperialistic rule, the policies of superpower in the 1939, the Second World War somehow was about to begin. Why? Because all the policies were not adjusted, not accomplished by everybody. So we need to take out, so we need to understand that by the keeping this policy over the imperialistic rule policy, or keeping in the mind, we can say the superpower like America and Russia and many other, in 1939, remember the date, in 1939 the Second World War was about to begin, or you can say that it started at the time of here. So my dear students, this is the page number 12 and 13, as you can see that, and I hope I made you to understand this lecture very well, and also I wish that you are learn all the theories related to the chapter, and also you are writing this chapter at your home. So See, this is actually basic theory about the World War, Russian Revolution, Bolshevik Revolution, the Bloody Sunday and Treaty of Versailles, then Paris Peace process, and many more things. Furthermore, you can also revise these kinds of things at your home by your own, and I am keeping an end to the lesson. We'll start the new lesson in the new lecture. I hope you enjoyed and better more than you learned also about the League of Nations, about the World War and Russian Revolution too. So take care, keep revising, and if you have any doubt, you can contact your teachers or you can search on the Google also. Jai Hind.